It was senior night here in Hamden as the Bobcats celebrated accordingly, defeating the Engineers of RPI 4-1. Drew Feinberg alongside Jonathan Banks, and Jonathan, after last night's 5-2 defeat to Union, 4-1 in this game, what went right for the Bobcats?
Well, tonight a lot went right. Last night, not everything went right, but tonight everything went right. Tanner McMaster tallied his 9th multi-point game of the season. Scott Davidson scored his first goal since December 8th against Maine. Craig Martin first since November 18th against Yale. Not only that, Keith Petruzzelli in goal tonight. He gave up 1 goal for the 3rd time this season. Rand Pecknold in the press conference today said he played very well. And not only that, Brandon Fortunato scored 1 goal against UMass in his first 25 games of the season and now has 4 in his last 6. So he's been heating up at the right time for the Bobcats.
Jonathan Odin Tufto had his 13th multi-point game of the season, bringing his point total to 36. Right now, how important do you think he is to the team? And going forward, how important do you think he will be in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, in the playoffs, he's going to be very important. And right now, as Rand Pecknold said today in the press conference, Odin Tufto he's the most important player on the offense. You said it there, at 36 points. That's 28 assists. And Tufto can just do it all. He's a great keen eye for a pass. His vision is phenomenal, 28 assists, which leads the conference in his first among all freshmen in college hockey. And just Tufto's work ethic, doing the little things, playing off the pass, knowing when to give the puck to his teammates, and also creating spacing, just makes Tufto so important. And he needs to keep on rolling if Quinnipiac wants to have a shot to advance in the ECAC playoffs.
You mentioned ECAC playoffs right around the corner, and right now it's really a toss-up for this Bobcats team. They could finish anywhere between 6th and 11th position in the ECAC, but where do you think at the end of the season they will end up?
I think they're going to end up right where they are now, and that's 9th place. I think it'll be a battle of Whitney Ave where they take on Yale, who right now is tied with Princeton. But for Quinnipiac, really, it doesn't matter whether they're home or away. They actually have a better record on the road this year, even though they've been saying they want to fight for that home ice advantage. That's what Scott Davidson said in the press conference today. But for them, I don't think it's really about whether they play home and away. This team just goes from the highest to highs to the lowest to lows. So I really think it's just their mindset and their attitude, and that's going to figure out whether or not they get the win in the playoffs.
Jonathan, home or away may not be that important to the Bobcats, but what is important is their 2 matchups next weekend against St. Lawrence and Clarkson. Clarkson, like you know, the Bobcats defeated earlier on this season and have been on a little bit of a struggle recently, haven't won at all in the month of February. How important do you think next weekend is to the Bobcats, and how do you see them finishing off the season?
Well, I think it's everything next week. I mean, the Bobcats, they started off the season well, then kind of faded off in the middle, and then now it's kind of like win here, loss there, just 500 back and forth. Mm-hmm. So I think this weekend is huge. I mean, they need to win both games to get to 500, which would be a huge momentum booster in the playoffs. And this weekend, Clarkson, you said it, they haven't won in February yet, and even before that, they tied Brown 2-2 at the end of January. And I think that Quinnipiac will beat Clarkson. I think they will also beat St. Lawrence to win both games. So I think it'll be a huge momentum boost, and I think Quinnipiac will have the right morale, right attitude, right mindset, and they'll have good chemistry going into the playoffs.
Quinnipiac finished this weekend the same place it started in the ECAC standings, in 9th. But we will see where the Bobcats will climb or descend based on next week's results. From the TD Bank Sports Center, alongside Jonathan Banks, I'm Drew Feinberg. Thank you for tuning into The Rebound.